Alright guys, I've got another story for you, but this is a story that was a couple of years ago. This is when I was in primary, and this is when I was a little cutie. But now, guys, I'm not even good looking, guys. I used to be cute when I was a kid. I'm not even cute anymore. Oh god. I've been rejected like um 7,000 times by everyone I ask out, and they always say to me, "Why do you play games?" And I go, "I like games," and they're like, "We can't. If you didn't play games, I could go out, but you play games." So if there's any gamer girls, please, please go out with me. What the Hey guys, I'm just joking about that. But yeah, I've never asked out anyone, and I know someone who liked us in primary, and I was like, I didn't know back then, but now when I think about it, they did like us, and they were like always smiling and being nice to us, and I was like, hi. But back then, when I was a kid, I'm a stupid kid, by the way, so I didn't know this. I generally didn't know. In the future, I did. And that's what everyone said. Everyone's like, this person likes it. I was like, nah, they're friends. I didn't want to think about it. They did like us. But even if someone did ask us out, I would be like, nah, I'm alright. I don't want to go out. Because generally, I don't want to go in a relationship in school, man. It's a bit weird if I do, man. It's going to be like, how are you doing? Here's a little gift. There you go, bye. Like, no, never in my life. Never, ever in my life. But yeah. I just want to talk to you about the story, and I'm trying to think about what story, like when it was, like how old I was. I was like very little, by the way, and my dad is a freaking soldier. My dad is a soldier. Like, he's the type of guy that would go in the Antarctic and do this. Like, never mind what I'm going to tell you about now. But this had to be... It was his old van. It was his old van. If you guys knew that back then in primary. If you guys watch it. But none of my primary friends watch this. Even though I'm still in touch with them, they just don't watch this. But, yeah. So this had to be when I was 6 or 7 years old, I can't remember. I had to be very little to do that. I had to be very little. But let's start the video. Alright, let's start the video. Before I talked about that murder story where someone got murdered where I used to live a year after we moved. And yeah, lucky I didn't see that because that was our bin. Imagine I used to always go in there and do stupid stuff when I was a kid. Imagine if I opened that up and be like, what is that? Is that ketchup? Huh? But that sounded like an auto-tune. But yeah, lucky I didn't see that. But this is when we were living there. But now we don't play. I'm gonna talk about the story there in my old primary. So basically, it was a snow day. Oh, I've also got the flood story. I remember about the flood story. I might put them into 2 videos because the flooding story is quite short, but I'll put them into 2 videos. I'll put it in this video right after. So, we're in the, like, the van, right? And it just stopped because it was snowing, right? It just stopped. And we tried to start it, and it took like 20 to 30 minutes, and it didn't start. My dad was like, okay, we are stuck in snow, so what we are going to do is we're going to walk to your school, and it's only like a 20-minute walk. So you know what we did? We walked it, and I was like a very little boy, and I had these little wellies on, and it was so cute. It was so cute. And I remember walking, and it was so cold. I couldn't feel my toes. I felt like they were gonna come off, and then I could just, put it in a little pickle jar. But yeah, we're just going, and we're just like walking, right? And we're finally there. It's like the freaking Lord of the Rings, or the Hobbit journey, when they get there, and then like, oh my god, we're finally here. And then one of my friends goes up to us and he's like, hi, I'm Ellie, but I'm not gonna say my real name. And he's like, I'm like, hi, what's up? And he's like, why are you not in school? And he's like, it's closed. And I'm like, oh, for God's sake, I'm not walking back. And then my dad, he was like, I'll give you a piggyback. And he gave me a piggyback, man. He gave me a piggyback all the way back to the shop, because that's where we used to live in. We used to live in a shop, right? And that's where the murder happened, right out before, like outside, like there. And I'm gonna have to say to my dad, like you piggybacked us at least halfway there, and then the full way back, and then you started the fire, and then I got my feet warm, and oh, it was so good. I remember when I was a kid, those days were so good, because I used to always watch Virgin Media. I used to have that, and I used to watch Leo Super Evil. I used to always watch that, and I used to love that. And my dad used to always give us these Domino's pizza. It was unhealthy, but back then you'd give us it, but not now. But yeah, that was before. But yeah, that was cool. That was good old memories. But yeah, so we just walked back, and my dad just picked us up all the way there, and my legs, man, they were cold, but he probably had his legs so cold, extra weight pushing him down, like. But we're going to talk about the flood story. So a flood happened one day, and I was in primary school, but this is like later on the years. I think it was year 5 or year 4, and I think this is like year later or 2 years, I can't remember, because when you're like 6 to 8, you mature quite a bit. It's like when you get to 10 to 14, or 10 to 12, you mature quite a bit, like you leap over. But yeah, so that's why I probably think of it differently. But yeah, but in the car, we started it up. It's like, and then we're starting it up. So I live like, I'm not going to tell you where I live, obviously, but I live quite far away from my school, because my school was in Gateshead at the time, and I didn't live in Gateshead. I lived like 30 minutes away. But what made it worse was the flood that happened. So this was after the flood, and all the roads were closed off, and it took me like 10 to 20 minutes going, and we were just like, I was so hungry, man. 30 minutes in the ride, my mum was like, listen to some tunes, we're listening in the back, because I had nothing else to do. It was like, I'll sing you a song. We were in the back, listening to tunes. I was doing nothing, just really hungry. I had my packed lunch next to me, full of food. So what did I do? Asked my mum, I said I was hungry. She looked at me and said, oh lovely, you can have your packed lunch. And I was like, okay mum. And then I had the packed lunch, and it was good. And then 12 o'clock, we get there, and school wasn't shut. It just took us ages, and you should have seen the freaking cars were everywhere, man. It took us like, I don't know, 3 or 2 hours, but yeah, then we got there, and then I don't know her name, but the teacher, I'm just gonna say, it wasn't even a real teacher. It was one of those ones that are like, take care of you, or whatever you call them, that watch over you. But yeah, they came to me, and they're like, I understand why you're late, because, we live 3 minutes away, and everything was like locked up. So yeah, it was like escaping a prison, but like the prison was the car system, and getting to school was like the criminal gang or whatever. But yeah, I don't even know if I'd done work there. I think we just watched a movie. I don't know about that bit, but I don't even think we had work, because I don't think most of the teachers didn't come. I think they couldn't come. But yeah, that was a story as well. So the snow story and the flood story.